Hello and welcome to the Fig Tree Generation, where we strive to be a light for the Most High. We are interested in being venerated as saints. Join us for a quest for the truth.
Shalom.
Hello.
Welcome back. What are we going to talk about today?
Part two.
Part two. Short. Yes, the little season. I'm actually surprised that there wasn't as much pushback. I thought there would be more, just by suggesting maybe the little season is over. Because I think when it comes to eschatology, a lot of people dig their heels in. You know, you have the rapture people who are like, no, the rapture is going to happen, and you have dispensationalists. You have the futurist idea that everything in Revelation is still yet to come. It's been 2,000 years of nothingness, and we're just waiting, for something to come along. And then even in little season eschatology,
that's a thing now.
That's a thing now, and it always has been. I'm actually going to show that it's been for a while. But the idea of the little season, a lot of people are like, no, little season. This is the little season. Look how deceived we are.
Which we have said that.
Yeah, and I'm not, honestly, I still agree kind of with that.
Yeah.
But I'm exploring different options.
Yeah.
Mainly because there's been something in my mind, and we're going to talk about this, about really it's Gog Magog. We got into it a little bit at the last video in the very end, but it's really the idea that, okay, we have to define who Gog Magog is, the war that's supposed to happen in Revelation 20, because that's really going to put a bookend on the little season. If that's happened, then surely the little season's over, because that's at the end of the little season. So I think I've kind of contemplated that for a while because of some things I found about Gog and Magog. And then we had the hagiography reports that came out. I know a lot of y'all love that, a lot of y'all hate it. So there's a lot of, and I don't really know either way. I don't really care what AI has come up with. I go in and try to prove it through the books and trying to find these books. Yeah. And I'm finding a lot of stuff, a lot of very interesting things. But the hagiography reports, I think his name's Adam. I hate to get his name wrong. I cannot remember this guy's name because he's on TikTok and I'm not on TikTok, so I have no idea. I don't even get on TikTok. I have no idea. No, he's on X. I can't even remember.
I'm not on. Twitter.
I'm not on either one of the. Yeah, I'm not on either one of those. So I don't
know.
That's why I don't know his name. But he's actually commented on this channel.
Yeah.
But I think his name's Adam. But he had gotten together basically a document called the hagiography reports, which is just the stories of the saints. But in there, it does talk about the little season only being 3.5 years. That when Satan was released at the end of the millennial kingdom being around 1536, which would have been 1,000 years from 536, which 536 was the 18 months of no sun. This is documented throughout history during the reign of Justinian I. This is everywhere. And we will do a video on this. It's called the General Chronological History of the Air, Weather, Seasons, and Meteors. It's written in the 1700s. But he corroborates this account. And there's many other documents throughout history about the sun darkening. And that was the beginning, according to the hagiography reports, that was the beginning of Satan being bound.
Yeah.
So that's why we're like, well, maybe the little season's over. But there were some things I was just, you had talked to someone that was thinking that maybe the little season is yet to come. And, there is an account by Enoch. It's a prophecy by Enoch. It's kind of a separate fragment from the book of Enoch that kind of gets me thinking, too, that maybe the little season is yet to come. Yeah. When the phoenix regathers, when the phoenix takes over its two severed heads in this prophecy. And maybe we could read that, too. But it appears that that's when the dragon takes over. And I think that's yet to come. I think America is behemoth in that prophecy. But anyways, do you want to talk about something else before we kind of jumped right in? But
I think that's okay. Let's jump right in. You're already there.
Yeah.
You're like flowing. It's flowing.
This is prep day for us, so we got to get this done. We
don't have to get this done, but we've been wanting to do this for like a week, but just time gets away from us, and so we had a little bit of time this morning and wanted to do it before we really get our prep day going. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and we got up, read in Deuteronomy this
so
morning.
good.
We're in Deuteronomy right now, and we jump around. We were just reading something else. I'm in Hebrews as well, but we're in a lot of different books because we enjoy this. And I'm not saying that as like a pat on the back to us. I'm honestly proud of what Yahuwah has done in my own life, because this word has truly, the Torah itself has truly become the meditation of my heart day and night, just like Psalms 1. I want to be a tree planted by waters, by living waters, by running waters, is that what it is? Who gives forth his fruit in due season. Yeah. His leaves do not wither, and in all he does, he prospers. It's literally this Torah, I mean, reading the Deuteronomy, the commandments, the statutes, the judgments, the precepts, are all forever. Every one of them, all forever. It's written multiple times, but these things are for our good. They're a blessing. You can either choose the blessing or you can walk away from the statutes, walk away from the precepts or the commands, and you can embrace the curse. Yeah. And this is the old covenant. This is the old covenant that is ready to pass away. It's not passed away. It's ready to pass away, just as your flesh is ready to pass away. We're born. Thank you. We are born, and we're basically born and slowly dying. Yeah. Are we not? We get older. We inch every day. We inch closer to that day when we enter in to a new life, the actual life, our actual place where we're supposed to be. This is the testing ground here on earth. And we've been given a set of instructions, which is in what you would call the old covenant. But the old covenant's not done away with. It's ready to pass away, just as your bodies are ready to pass away. He sets forth instructions right here. You can have life if you obey them. You can have health. I mean, he gives you health instructions, like unclean and clean foods. It's like, I'm giving you a diet so you can be healthy. Yeah. I'm also giving you things to do on your land, like letting it rest. We had our year of rest last year. I'm doing this so your land can produce fruit for you. I give you the Sabbath because your animals need to rest as well on the Sabbath. And it's a day of rest for your bodies. I want you to be healthy. I want you to have life while you're on this earth. Yeah. And he's also given us the new covenant, okay, which is the Torah, these instructions written down on our heart, and we can enjoy life everlasting. So the first covenant is life on this earth, the promised land. And the second covenant is better promises. It exists on better promises. That's why it's better. It's because I'm going to allow you to believe and follow these things in faith and accept the fullness of the covenant in your heart. I'm going to let it sink in on a deeper level through the blood of Messiah. And that new covenant, by that new covenant, you not only get the promised land on this earth, but you can get the promised land, the everlasting land. Yeah,
the right to the tree of life.
The right to the tree of life. That's right. And it's all the commandments. I mean, there's nothing new except the promise is better. You know, there's nothing new you can enjoy by coming into the faith through Messiah, to being grafted in Romans 11 and Romans 9. You'll be able to be grafted in. You can enjoy the covenants, the promises that Abraham was given. Yeah. All these promises, they're incredible. Yeah. And so anyone doing, we have so many people hate the old covenant. They hate it. It's like, these are literally the laws to life. This is how you develop in the womb of the earth. Okay, this earth is a womb. Yeah. You are developing here. You are deciding where your soul is going to remain for eternity. Yeah, your fate. Yeah, this is how you're here to develop. Now, how are you going to do that without instruction? You have to have your instructions, and these instructions lead us into life eternal.
That verse, Deuteronomy 6:25, then it is righteousness for us when we guard to do all his commands before Yahuwah Elohim as he has commanded us. It's righteousness.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is our righteousness. It's also in Psalms as well, Psalm 119. This is amazing. You know, this is our righteousness. It's how we get that. And guess what? You're going to mess up, but we have a advocate to the Father, Yeshua Messiah, He's our high priest. He petitions daily for us. You know, he stands at the right hand of the Father petitioning for us. He's our advocate when we sin, to bring us back to the Father.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't, I mean, I know a lot of Christians would, if you're a Christian listening to us, and you might be like, well, it's not by works you're saved, it's only through faith. And why are you working your way to heaven? You know, it's like, we're not.
Yeah.
We are trying to be holy because he is holy, perfect for he is perfect. It's what we're called to do. We're supposed to walk like Messiah walked.
Right. And his commands are not a burden. So says John. Confirms that they're not a burden, right? First John, I think 5:3. It's beautiful. You know, it's not easy to walk this narrow path. I've said it before. Anybody that's watched us long enough has been with us, has sat sort of front row through a number of trials we've experienced, especially in the last year, even just in the last 6 months. But I keep saying it's worth it. I mean, there are days where it is hard. Like it is hard to just, you know, stay firmly planted. But you read Deuteronomy and it's just such a beautiful love story. It's like from Yahweh love. I mean, it truly is. And as we're going back through it, it's reminding me of why we chose this, why he chose us. I don't know. I don't feel worthy to have been chosen to receive his truth. But we love his ways. We love his Sabbaths, his feast days, even the commands we don't quite understand. But we're still commanded to guard all of them. We're still commanded to fear him. And we were just reading in Deuteronomy 10 that, you know, we do all of this for our good. And there's a verse back in, I just want to read this really quickly. Yahuwah says in Deuteronomy 6, I just read one verse from it, but it says, when your son asks you in times to come, saying, what is the meaning of the witnesses and the laws and the right rulings? So all of the Torah, all the instructions, not just the 10, which we love the 10. The 10 are great. But the 10 truly are just a picture of everything that he has commanded us to do. But what is the meaning of it? When someone says to you in time to come, what is the meaning of all this which Yahuwah your Elohim commanded you? And you will say to your son, we were slaves of Pharaoh in Mitzrayim, and Yahuwah brought us out of Mitzrayim, or Egypt, with a strong hand. And Yahuwah sent signs and wonders and great and grievous upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, upon the household before our eyes. He brought us from there. He delivered us from bondage, basically, to give us the land. And Yahuwah commanded us. So why? Why do we do this? Because Yahuwah commanded us to do all these laws, to fear Yahuwah our Elohim for our good always, to keep us alive as it is today, and then his righteousness for us when we guard to do these commands. So it's for our good. He knows what's good for us.
Well, you mentioned like the commandments, the precepts,
the
testimonies, all these things that are mentioned throughout Scripture. Even, I mean, Psalm 19. Psalm 119, they're all talking about, like, these are amazing. All the precepts, all the testimonies, all the statutes, these things. And it's like, you know, it's like we have boys, you know. We say, hey, son, clean your room. That's the command, right? That's the command I give. Well, how do you clean your room? You know, I can even go and say, hey, you didn't clean your room. You didn't make your bed. Well, making your bed's part of cleaning your room. And those are the instructions, the statutes, the instructions in the Torah that come after the command. So, how do you love Yahuwah your Elohim? He is your Elohim. There is no other Elohims before him. You know, how do you love him? Like, how do you show your love to him? And this is where 1 John talks about. The keeping the commandments, all of them. This is how we know we love him. There are things to do. So, I would say most people believe in keeping the 10. I would say most. I mean, that's pretty common within Christianity and everywhere. But
just being a decent human being. Most people aren't going to murder, steal, lie. I mean,
even atheists believe in keeping the 10 Commandments, and they do. Maybe not the 4th, but Christians don't even keep the 4th. So I mean, I'm sorry. Some of them do. I mean, some of them would assume Sabbath is Sunday, and they keep Sunday as a Sabbath. That's totally fine. I don't really care. But it's just like, you know, there are instructions to that. That's where we get the Torah, and that's where we get the extra instructions. Had we just kept the 10, we probably wouldn't have received all these extra instructions. But when you have a wayward son, you've got to give him more instruction. You've got to spank him around a little bit and give him a little more so that way he can come to following the commands. Now, once he learns how to clean his room, and once he does these commands, and he no longer has to like make it a checklist and following every single one because it comes natural.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to tell him to clean his room because his room's already clean because he cleans it all the time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, but anyways, all right. Do you want to get back into this?
Yeah, we'll
real
jump
quick,
back.
or-
Yeah, let's. Yeah,
Okay.
real quick.
Yeah, real quick. Just another hour and a half. All right. So I mentioned this before. I think this is amazing. This book is written. I'll show it to you just a second. Let me find out where it's. I think it's 1700s. Oh no, 1573. This book is 1573. It's a reprint. You can get these online. You can read this free online. It's called 100 Sermons Upon the Apocalypse of Jesus Christus, revealed by the angel of the Lord, by Cien, and received and written by the holy apostle and evangelist St. John. I love that. These old books have the most amazing titles. I mean, they're just huge. They take up a whole page to say the title, which is incredible.
Well, because we live in a world now where we want it quick, fast, and we want to be able to squeeze it all in 2 minutes. And tell me what you believe in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Just saying, like that's what Instagram does, and like they're like, keep your reels to less than 3 minutes. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Anyways, and we just live in, I love this. It's slow, it's long, it's there's words that we don't even say anymore.
Well, this is written in Old English, very hard to read.
It's just so good. It's just so much intelligence and wisdom.
But this is so yeah, you're right. I mean, the way people wrote is incredible. And if y'all watch our Daniel series, Daniel 12, I mean, when he says people run to and fro, knowledge shall be increased, that's not us. I don't believe that's us. We're not running to and fro.
Perceived knowledge, I think, is increased. Like there's just
Yes.
perceived knowledge because you can access so much at your fingertips.
Sure, there's a
now.
perception of knowledge, but
Yeah.
we know so little. And there's a perception of that we can travel, but
Yeah.
we really can't travel. I mean, I would love to go to Europe right now. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Israel so bad, but I can't. I can't because of money. I can't because of passport. All these things.
Commitments.
They put all these hoops to jump through. And I think we showed, it's also in our Paradise Lost video if you scroll down past the Daniel study.
Yeah.
But it's also in Daniel 12. We put in so much information about paradise being open. The just will be able to travel across the whole world. They'll be able to traverse the breadth of the earth. And that's what we get. We get all these amazing cartographers throughout history making these amazing maps. Okay, back to this book right here. What's incredible about this book, it's written in, like I said, 1573. This guy believed that the millennial kingdom had ended in 1,000 years. And we could try to read. You want to read that right there?
I can try, yeah.
Just that little bit.
But what is that which is annexed, that the devil must be loosed for a little season? This a little season, which continueth now 500 years. And this place we expounded as that same in the gospel. I
Those
give
days were...
unless those days were forgotten. Were shortened. Oh, see, I translated it.
those days were shortened.
Unless those days were shortened, no flesh should be saved. For it is evident by stories that neither the devil nor Antichrist hath moved his kingdom long and quiet. This is really hard. Forevermore
Yeah.
in all the ages. Okay, I can't. It's it hurts my eyes to try to read it because like your S's are F's and your L's are.
Well, there's way more difference to it. It's this Old English. But I just brought this out to show. Okay, so this is a commentary on Revelation back in the 1500s. By the way, it's commentary. Okay, we have tons of commentary on Revelation. This right here is commentary on Revelation.
Sure.
You don't have to believe us, and you should test everything we say.
Yeah.
And we probably aren't right.
Yeah.
But this is commentary on 1500s. Okay, if I'm going to look at any commentary on Revelation or any of Scripture, I want to get back as old as I can.
Yeah.
The closer to the source. It's like that telephone game, right? The closer you get down the line, the more likely you're going to hear the original story.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is amazing. This guy thinks that the millennial kingdom ended at sometime around 1000 AD. and that they were in the little season for 500 years. He wrote this in the 1500s. He thought the little season had continued for 500 years. By the way, he also says the little season is 666 years long, which is incredible because that would actually coincide with Tartaria. So I don't know what to do with this, but I just brought this out. I was just showing you that this little season idea is nothing new. We think we've stumbled across something here in the 21st century on TikTok and YouTube and all these things. Look at what we've done, It's like, it's nothing new. Of course, it's written down so long ago, probably before the destruction of the temple in 60-ish time frame. It's written in Revelation. But it's nothing new that we thought we were in the little season. I don't know. I mean, looking back now, it seems definitely we're in the little season now. There's so much deception. But if we just take a step back, just an idea with the little season, this is a very American thing.
Idea.
Yeah, it's a very
Americanized.
Yeah, or maybe first world kind of idea.
Okay.
I don't think that these third world countries, people who are poor, who live a poor lifestyle, more agricultural lifestyle, that believe in Scripture, I don't necessarily think they feel as deceived as we do. I think it's India. I think the whole nation of India, it's always been flat earthers. They've never believed in the globe. They never believed we landed on the moon. China's the same way. I think China's, well, of course now, I mean, they landed on the moon recently, I think. But there's a lot of things like that. We think, oh my goodness, we're so deceived. It's got to be this little season. It's got to be this time. But if we really take a step back, when Satan is released, I think it's utter destruction.
Yeah.
Where's the verse? He's released in, you might have to Google this because I can't remember the verse. It's in the Gospels where says now Satan has come down. And I think it's at the crucifixion at some point, or maybe it's the Garden of Gethsemane. It's like right before that.
Give me a little bit more. Satan has come down to you.
Okay, yeah, so sorry, we had to look it up. So John, what is it?
12:31 says, now is the judgment of this world. Now the ruler of this world shall be cast out.
Okay, so this is before the crucifixion. You keep reading.
Oh, sure.
That was amazing.
And if I am lifted up from the earth, if I am lifted up from the earth, shall draw all men unto myself. Thus he said, signifying by what death he was about to die. The crowd answered him, we have heard out of the Torah that the Messiah remains forever. And how do you say the son of Adam has to be lifted up? Who is this son of Adam? Yeshua therefore said to them, yet a little while the light is with you. Walk while you have the light, lest darkness overtake you. And he who walks in darkness does not know where he is going.
Well, that's kind of funny because in that verse it says, yet a little while the light is going to be taken from you. Obviously, he's talking about his crucifixion. He's going to ascend.
Yeah.
But he says, yet a little while.
Yeah.
It's just funny because we would never assume a little while is 2,000 years right here. But
no.
all the time.
And he didn't say that implying that that was the 2,000 years before he was to be crucified.
No. I mean, but it's so...
A little bit is a short time.
It's so funny, but these same phrases are used all throughout the New Testament, talking about the reign of Messiah or the reign of Elohim. Here on this earth, the 1,000-year reign, and all these things are to take place in a short time. And what it says in Revelation, there's so many. I mean, it's like probably 100 verses at least. I can't remember. We have a list of them, but there's just so many verses talking. In this New Testament, it's written like, "Get ready, the kingdom of heaven is nigh."
Yeah.
But what I was talking about there is that first verse. It says, "Now," what does it say?
Is the judgment of this world. Now the ruler of the world shall be cast out. Of
course, we talked about this in our Daniel study, Daniel 9:24, where it's the judgment of the world, the end of sin. This is it. I'm going to usher in everlasting righteousness. This is the end of the 490 years, 70 AD. That's it. The crucifixion, I think, began that time. And then you had 40 years of basically a time to repent. Same as Nineveh, same as the people in the wilderness.
Yeah.
What others? 40. There's so many other 40s. I can't think of them right now. Y'all know. But anyways, you had this time of like, okay, will you repent for all your sin, even killing Messiah?
Yeah. Will
you repent and come back? Of course, it was already prophesied that at 490 years, that was going to be it from Daniel. So we already knew 70 AD was going to be it for the people, and the dispersion would happen. And the beginning of the kingdom would be ushered in. Now, the millennial kingdom we believe began in the 500s. This is a specific time frame, but the kingdom's forever. Also in our Daniel study, 8 times. Kingdom's forever. 7 or 8, I can't remember. But it's forever. It never ends. Once it's established, it never ends. But this goes back to Revelation 12, where it says the ruler of this world is cast out.
Yeah.
Revelation 12 is telling you after the man-child ascends up into heaven, he's caught up into Elohim, into his throne, that the ruler of this world is cast out. It says, woe to the people on the earth.
Yeah.
Because the dragon is coming down with great wrath. So you had this
Knowing
time.
that he has a little time.
knowing that he has a little time. He just has this little bit of time to destroy. Maybe that was 40 years. Okay. What was happening during that little time? What was happening during these times when we obviously know Satan was come down, okay? Or that he's free. So he gets cast down at the crucifixion. So before we know from Job, he was accusing before the Father, accusing us day and night, going up and accusing us. Is he accusing us anymore? Which is interesting. I'm not saying he's not, but he is. According to Revelation 12 and according to this verse in John, I think he's cast down. Now, because he's cast down, can he just do whatever he wants unless he's bound? I think Michael stands up. And we talk about this in Daniel 12:1. I think Michael has stood up multiple times. We talked about the access between Jerusalem all the way up into Ireland and probably way beyond, all the way to the sides of the north, to the city of the great king. But it seems like Michael is standing up multiple times, knocking the devil back into place, saying, hey, you can't do this.
Yeah.
He's keeping him in charge. He's keeping him in line and not letting him do just whatever he wants. Now, there are times when he could do whatever he wants. I think this is one of the times. Revelation 12 tells you.
Yeah.
Right after the crucifixion, it tells you, it says, hey, that dragon is coming down, and he's going to, woe to the people of the earth. Now, what happened during that time? We're going to do a video on this, general chronological history. Oh, did I already say this?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Sorry. But we're going to do a whole video on this. We might interrupt this kind of like little mini series on the little season to talk about this. But I wanted to talk about this because, real quick, because this time when Satan is released, it's in here. This is 70 AD. There's multiple things. I mean, so much in this book. But I'm just going to talk about this. It talks about the earthquake in Judea in 29 AD. Obviously, it's probably been the crucifixion. There's many other things. It says 3 suns appeared at once, which sensibly united into one orb.
Yeah.
This is in 51 AD. The same year, a great famine in Greece, which was the case
of Rome.
The case of Rome the next year. There was an earthquake, a great earthquake in Rome. A great comet was seen.
Another comet was seen about 4 years later in 66 AD. Earthquakes in Laodicea, Hierapolis.
In Nero's time, it rained.
So much blood in Albania that the rivers ran blood. The sea was also driven back from Egypt and overflowed a great part of Lycia.
That's interesting. The tongue of the Egyptian sea, you'll find that in Isaiah 11, which I believe the tongue of the Egyptian sea has been destroyed, which is in Isaiah 11. Now, I know some people say, where's the lion and the lamb? If you read Gospel of Philip, is it Gospel of Philip? I think it's Gospel of Philip. They're running around with a leopard and a goat to show that the kingdom is here. It's fascinating. They're literally walking around with a leopard and goat that are friends. And they want to show everyone, look, kingdom's here. Look, they're getting along.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. Okay. So 70 AD, a prodigious earthquake in Italy. That's interesting. 70 AD. I wonder if it coincides with the destruction of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
That would have been a sign if Rome destroys Jerusalem the same day there's a huge earthquake in Italy. It says, by the fever and famine and the siege of Jerusalem from April 14th to the calends of July, out of one gate were carried forth to be buried
1,580,000 people.
1,580,000 people from the siege in Jerusalem. So Rome, we learned about this in Josephus. Rome sieged Jerusalem, cut off all their supply. 1 million people, 1.5 million people died. After this, the better sort of the fugitives said that 600,000 carcasses of the poor were thrown out at the gates, besides those buried by relations. So we're talking about after this, there's 600. We're talking about over 2 million people. Over 2 million people that we don't get that story. We just think the temple got destroyed. Yeah, so the army died, but
What was
then
the
they got
fallout from
dispersed.
that?
2 million people died. Okay, the reason I mentioned this, there's way more. I could just sit here and read, and that's what I think we want to do. I think we want to just kind of go through this book and read some of the things. Why I'm mentioning that is because Satan released. You have Christians, and by the way, these modern Christians are not the former Christians.
Yeah.
The beginning Christians were completely commandment keepers. They were completely holy. I mean, amazing holy people who gave up their lives for Messiah. And so you have Christians, anyone who was believing in Messiah, Jew, Greek, whatever you were, anyone believing in Messiah and trying to be holy, beheaded, horrible deaths. We have Paul and Peter being killed by the lawless one who was Nero. They were beheaded. Oh, not beheaded. I'm sorry. Peter crucified upside down. Paul stoned or beheaded. There's a lot of different stories, especially the story where his head comes back and unites with his body, reattaches to his body, which is incredible.
We just lost people.
Well, it's funny. I mean, we think that's crazy, but we believe in a book right here that has a talking donkey, a man that walked on water, a man born of a virgin. Some incredible stories.
Turned a little bit of food into a whole lot for a whole lot of people.
Yeah, why can't Paul's head reattach to his body? I think that's amazing.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think these early, the Nazarenes really is what they were. They were just Nazarenes. They, were commandment keepers. That's just coincides with Revelation 12:14, though. I mean, that's who the dragon was enraged with. The enemy was enraged.
You're right.
With those that were set apart. That was the endurance of the saints that we hear about in Revelation 14. It all kind of coincides and substantiates that the saints were those that, I would love to be a saint. I think that is our goal. We want to be, like you said, venerated as saints. I pray that for myself, for my husband, for my children. But these were actually walking, living, breathing, followers of Messiah, Nazarenes, that truly guarded the commandments with their life, as well as followed Messiah literally to the ends of the earth and to their deaths, you know? It's just, and that's what that's what we're talking about right here in this book. So
I think that's incredible, because when we look, the reason I'm mentioning this is because Satan, according to John, the dragon, and Revelation 12, the dragon's released. Woe to the earth. He's got a little time. It's got a little time till when? Till he's bound? Till Michael stands up? When was he bound? Now I've said this before, that the binding of Satan doesn't have to necessarily coincide with the 1,000-year reign. It could be different intervals. It could be the same. So I think a good way to look at eschatology is to have a mind open, not too open. You don't, what was that say? Like, you don't want your mind open to where you just let everything in. You don't want to have a there's something to that. I can't remember that.
I don't know.
We've come up with a good analogy, but anyways, you don't want to be mindless. You have to have your mind
mindful.
You have to be mindful. So you can't have it too open. There are some things that are debatable. Other things need to be, stand firm. But anyways, I think so. When we look at this, when Satan's released, it's like hell on earth. It's horrible. People are getting killed. Like you mentioned before, the Nazarene, these commandment keepers. We read in the extra biblical text, I can't remember where it is. I wish I could quote it here, but it says after the original apostles died off, that Christianity basically went off the rails. They were commandment keepers, Sabbath keepers, feast keepers, all this stuff, ate clean, all these things, and believed in Messiah. And then once the original apostles died off, maybe not John, but all of the others, it went off the rails. It went crazy. They started worshiping other gods, and we get now modern day Christianity is pretty much the same thing.
But that just made me think of that same exact thing happened when Joseph died. When Joseph died, it was like the brothers didn't know what to do. They kind of gave themselves over to Egypt, became enslaved in Egypt. You know what I mean? It just started.
Something with Noah too. We read Jubilees too.
So these righteous men that were kind of leading the
Jubilees
people.
6, sorry.
Leading the people in the ways of Yah, die off, and then the people don't know what to do. They're like, they go off the rails.
Yeah, they
These are-
slowly each generation is progressively worse and worse.
Yeah.
And
It's just, and here we are.
Yeah.
But we're here again. Anyways.
yeah, and we get to all the way to Constantine. He kind of rebranded Christianity, and it's the Christianity we know today.
Yeah.
By the way, I just read Constantine. This is disgusting, but he had leprosy, and he was actually bathing in blood of babies to cleanse himself.
That's
Okay, that's awful, but they're doing it today. They're doing things like this today. So I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
this is like the father of Christianity. I mean, he's like literally changed. He's like literally what we know of as Christianity today. Our beliefs and everything kind of stem from the Constantine Creed and a lot of these things. Okay. This isn't about Constantine.
Yeah, where are we
But
going?
the reason I mention that is because when Satan is released,
Yeah.
it's like utter destruction. You're going to be killed. You're going to be murdered. It's going to be horrible things, right? So, do I believe he's released today? I do. But I don't believe he's bound. But I believe he's kept in check. Okay? Probably by Michael. Maybe Yeshua. I don't know. But I think Michael is the one that stands in the way. So when he steps back, whenever he's commanded to step back, Satan can go and do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And when he does, he kills. Do y'all remember the commercial? There was a commercial that came out in 2020 during the whole, craziness of the world. By the way, we thought that, I was like, oh my goodness, y'all woke us up in 2017 and this is the end. This is why I was woken up.
Yeah.
We're about to be beheaded. There was another commercial. You were pregnant, or we had just had our baby.
Yeah, Levi was a newborn.
So yeah, we just had a newborn, and
In the middle of COVID.
So we're up all night, and so at 3 a.m. they would run this commercial. I say 3 a.m. I don't know what time
It was
but
usually somewhere.
it was in the middle of the night, but they would run this commercial on evacuations. That
Evacuation plans.
you're going to be evacuated because of this disease. To make sure to bring your masks and all these things.
They had checklists.
Yes,
for
checklists on how when you have to leave your home, and
think-
you might not be able to go back.
I think we only saw it like 2 or 3 times. It was weird.
It's crazy stuff, guys. Do y'all remember what it was like if you were there and you were in the trenches and you were standing up, no masking, no, getting a thing in your arm and all this stuff. You weren't listening to the news, and you kept seeing the 33s and the ticker at the bottom of all the deaths that were happening. But you knew people. I was working in that industry as a firefighter. I was in the hospital constantly. It wasn't overcrowded, guys. There was no one there. Okay, so if you were in the trenches and you knew what was going on, it was fake. And you thought, oh my goodness, they're about to take over.
Yeah.
This is the end. This is why I was woken up 3 years ago, because I was supposed to get ready for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
We thought that, yeah.
Back to what I was saying. There was a commercial that came out. I don't know if y'all remember it, and it's a commercial about Satan, and it was a devil. Do you remember this?
I'm listening.
I wish I could play it right here, but I don't think I'd probably get copyright. But it's devil. It's the devil, and he's like on a dating website or something.
Really?
And he's looking for a date. Well, he finds 2020, and it's a girl named 2020. And he's like, oh, and they're like walking through the park, and they're enjoying each other because it's 2020, and it's like the devil's released.
Oh.
So obviously I don't think the devil's released in 2020, but the fact that they were kind of coinciding, that's very interesting. So the reason I'm saying this again, trying to come back to this, is that I think when the devil's released, it's not. Right now, we are in a time of deception, sure. Okay, but I think it's mostly America that's deceived.
Yeah.
Mostly the people who listen to the news, and mostly people who listen to all this extra stuff. You go to another country that's more agricultural, that doesn't have TVs in their living room.
A bit more third world.
Yeah, a bit more third world. They don't care about this stuff. They're like, no, the sun rises, in the east, sets in the west. I got to do this today. I've got to gather for my family.
Yeah.
They don't care about
They're
this
just
stuff.
leading a quiet life and working with their hands.
1 Thessalonians 4:11.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
But-
I think so.
But it's amazing, right? Like, I don't think that they are in this deception. The deception is because, and it happens throughout history, this deception we live in is because of blessing. Constantly Yahuwah, when he's giving his commandments, his statutes, his ordinances, he's saying, be mindful, because once you enter that land and you receive the blessing from keeping the commandments, Be mindful that you don't worship other gods.
That's right.
Be mindful
You don't take credit for yourself.
that you don't think it's because of your righteousness, of your pride and all this other stuff. Be mindful. And what happened with Ezekiel? Ezekiel's being shown a conspiracy. He's brought into the temple. He sees the women weeping for Tammuz. He sees the men bowing down towards the west, towards the sun, and putting their backs towards the temple. They don't care about Yah anymore. They're worshiping the sun. Evil conspiracies were going on. A time of deception in Jerusalem. Was the devil released?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think so. I just think because we're in a time of deception, it just means, okay, we're in a time of deception and a time of awakening. These things are cyclical. They always happen before destruction. Okay, people are woken up. People are deceived. You know, what's that verse in Daniel 12 where it says, the wise will understand,
Yes,
but the wicked will continue to do wickedness.
Yes.
Okay, this is just cyclical. These things happen. So that's why I'm kind of like curious. I don't think we're in the little season.
Yeah.
I think the little season, these times when Satan is released, it happens multiple times. It's utter destruction and death. It's people dying by the millions. We just read 2 million people were dying in 70 AD. Satan was released. He had just got done murdering and beheading many Christians, many Nazarene, many of the saints.
Yeah.
And he continued. I don't know. Michael might have stood up, knocked him back down, and he might have continued for 500 more years, up and down. Michael stands up, Michael knocks him back down.
Yeah.
And then maybe at 500 years, just throwing this out there, he was bound. The time of the Middle Ages is probably the most pure time in human history. I could be wrong in saying that, but I think it is. If we would look back in history, the time of the Middle Ages, that 1,000 years, 500 to 1500, everyone was concerned with the spirit realm. They were all concerned with living a holy life, setting themselves apart. The spread of the knowledge of Messiah was everywhere. You read books from there. I've got tons of books from the 1500s and 1200s, 1100s. I love that time frame. It's absolutely amazing because you read these things, especially we read the Golden Legend about the saints. And I've been taught, you don't pray to a saint. How dare you? That's evil. That's Catholic, or that's Orthodox. Like, don't ever listen to something, because we grew up Protestant. But you read some of these stories about these saints. They were completely holy. They were amazing people. They lived amazing holy lives. And these are priests. He sets aside priests and kings, a peculiar people. This is in Peter. It's just reiterated from Deuteronomy, I think, multiple places. But he's gathering priests. What does a priest do? A priest is your intercessor. A priest goes before you as an intercessor to the Father. Of course, we have our high priest, our Melchizedek priest, Yeshua. But there are many priests. There are many people. Why is he setting up priests among saints if we have a Melchizedek priest? Because
on earth as in heaven.
On earth as in heaven. Yeah, it's prophesied when we read Ascension of Isaiah that the saints were meant to go to the people and minister. Okay, when they left their bodies behind. Okay.
And what's fascinating when you read, sorry, just quickly interrupt. When you read the Great
I was about
Commission,
to go off on a tangent. I shouldn't have. So.
But when you read the Great Commission books, you do see, because I think we get this idea from the Gospels that the disciple, and not the idea, but I mean we're told, and it's repeated throughout, that these disciples didn't even know how to heal. They kept asking Yeshua, like, how do we do this? How do we cast out demons? How do we heal the sick? And Yeshua seems like he was constantly kind of like interceding, and doing it for them. But once he is ascended and you're reading these stories, I mean, they are literally, Peter, there's a story where Peter, his daughter is paralyzed, and he actually heals her paralysis, and she's walking around. They literally temporarily to sort of prove a point about the purpose of why she was born lame, basically. But anyways, you were reading where they were healing, they were performing these miracles. They were given, they were fully embracing their priesthood, their kind of anointing from Messiah, I think, to go and heal.
To minister unto the people.
And there are countless stories of that happening. But it seems to have happened almost after Yeshua, after he died, after he ascended to the right hand of the Father. it was almost like it paved the way for the disciples to be able to go forth and do the work of Messiah.
Yeah.
Carry on his ministry.
Well,
carry
Messiah
Yeah.
said, he said, "You're going to do greater works than me."
Yeah. There you go.
And this was like a blessing beyond his crucifixion and beyond his ascension that the like you said, the apostles carried out. And and why, like, we're told, like, if you're sick, go to the elders, have the
Yes.
elders pray for you.
That's what James
Why
says.
why do we go to elders to pray for us? We have a Melchizedek priest. Go to the high priest. You can go to the high priest. Why go to the elders? Why does it say that?
Yeah.
Because prayer of the righteous availeth much. So you go to a saint. What's wrong with having a saint intercede for you?
Right.
What's wrong with having a saint pray for you?
Yeah.
Are the saints dead? If the saints are dead still, that might be wrong, because we're not to have we're not to talk to the dead according to the Torah.
Yeah.
By the way, that's in the Torah.
And I don't think I would
Christians,
go to.
just
Yeah.
putting it out there. It's
Yeah.
a Torah commandment,
Yeah.
beyond the 10. But
I don't know that I would go to Pope Leo to like intercede on my behalf now.
sure.
But
Why'd you pick Leo? That's interesting.
That's the new Pope. That's his name.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about there's a Pope Leo that's
No, I think the new Pope's name
before
is
it was
Leo,
like
right?
700s.
After the Pope died, isn't the new Pope Leo?
have no idea.
I think his name is Leo. Okay, I'm not up on all
No,
the
no,
stuff.
no.
but,
I didn't know if you're going to. There's
but
an
I'm
older
just saying,
Pope.
I don't think the priests today. We know the priests today. I don't think are these set apart saints that you're talking about that existed and were appointed, anointed, whatever, in millennial kingdom. Anyways, I
Well-
just want to make that clear. I just don't know that. Go ahead. Maybe.
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
but even in the church, like he's talking, like to have the elders pray for you.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, I know we've kind of come out of this mindset of like, no, that's Catholic. Those priests, we don't need priests interceding for us. Well, a righteous man can intercede for you. Now, I don't know if some of these priests are righteous. I assume some of them are. They're not all bad. People are going to have a problem with this. I don't really care. Go read the Golden Legend. Go read some of these accounts about the
What
saints.
is the Golden Legend about? Or do you know?
It's
Can
just
you-
a
am I putting you on the
collection.
spot?
No. It's just a collection of the stories of the saints. Now, there's plenty more. There's way more than the Golden Legend has. The Golden Legend just has probably, I don't know, a couple hundred saints. And it's really amazing. But there's way more.
Is that it right there? If I show people a picture of it.
That's not the one I have, but
Oh, it's not. Okay.
find a vintage one. That's so much cooler looking, and there's so many. They're so cool.
That one
They're
is.
just better. The
Yeah.
pages are better. Everything's better about it.
Oh, are there different volumes? This is like volume 2.
Yes, I have all the volumes.
See, I can't keep up because he keeps buying books, so I
But
can't keep
okay,
up with it. Okay.
so I'm just saying, like, go read these things. These people are righteous. Why did we get on this subject? Anyways,
I don't know.
these
Are we
people.
going to get to Tartaria at some point?
Okay, so I'm kind of dangling the carrot. Okay, because I've got some books right here, and I don't know if we're getting to Tartaria today. What are we in? 47 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we
All
need
right.
to get in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe it'll be a part 3. All right. We can't do it all. All right. But anyways, okay. So so what I was just trying to show is that these times when Satan's released, it's just utter destruction. Okay. Back to this book. This book right here, the reprint. This is from 1700s, right? So
1500 is what you said.
no, 17.
Oh, it's not.
That one's 15.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
This is the chronological history.
yes, okay.
There's some crazy things that happen. When we talked about in our study, Daniel 12, it says that there will be judgment, a time of tribulation the world's never seen. And then he asks, how long is this going to last? It's either 3.5 years or it's 1,335 days. Okay. I do believe it's probably 1,335 days because that kind of coincides when it starts in 70 AD. 1,335 days kind of goes to the 1400s, and then you got the end right there, which brings me back to this book. About a fourth of this book is all about the 1500s. Okay, there was utter destruction. Of course, we believe the millennial kingdom ended in the 1500s. So I believe Satan was released. I believe he was released at the Garden of Gethsemane. Maybe not the Garden of Gethsemane. Maybe at the crucifixion. I think John is right there before Passover. It says he's about to be released. So probably at the crucifixion. He was probably released for 40 years till 70 AD. Michael, hit him again with the sword, knocked him down, stood up and said, no, get back down. And so he kind of wandered around. He wandered around for the next 300 or 400 years. the next 300 or 400 years, he wandered around, killing people. Michael's constantly standing up, off and on. Just my opinion. And then around the 500, probably 536, when the sun was darkened, that's when he was put down for 1,000 years. So he comes back out 1,500 years, or around the 1,335 days. Blessed is those who stay and remain to the 1,335 days. This was the last call for paradise. These were like the people going to the monasteries and doing pilgrimages, trying to get up to paradise, to promised land, because it was about to be hidden. And there was about to be you get so much about that, but there was about to be a ice age. By the way, when the ice age happens, that's when the watchers are released. We're in an ice age now, or on the tail end of it. Why was everyone walking around at this time till about the 1800s in 3-piece, 100% wool suits? Why was everyone all in wool clothing? Why were the women clothed everywhere? It was freezing cold. Okay, that's why our poles are frozen. You look at all the old maps, 1500s and back, there's a desert in Antarctica. I was looking at the Urbano Monte map. There's a desert. No, I'm sorry. It's in Siberia. There's a desert up there.
It's very cold there now.
There's palm trees in Antarctica. All kinds of things. Elephants living in Antarctica. All these things.
Yeah.
The 1500s. After the 1500s, watchers released. This is according to Enoch. There's just so much. I just can't possibly.
We don't have the Sefer with us.
No, I don't have the Sefer. But it's in Enoch, and it says that when the watchers are released, the poles will freeze. Okay, so as we're approaching global warming right now, and the ice caps are melting. I don't want to say caps, but these ice regions are melting. It's because paradise is about to be revealed again, and the watchers will be put down under. Their judgment will come. Yeah. I think it's within the hagiography reports too that the Satan is. Hey girl. Satan is Satan is put down under the rock, the Rupus Negra, which is the black rock, the magnetic black rock at the center of the earth. He's actually under there, and all the watchers were under these rocks. 4 of them are under the Euphrates.
Yeah.
Anyways, when we're looking at the 1500s, was Satan released in the 1500s? Like I said, this book dedicates a fourth of the book to the 1500s because so many people died.
Yeah.
I mean, there were so many people died. We want to do a whole video on skeletons. There's these skeletons walking around. It's crazy stuff. But by the way, when we're talking about videos, we just love talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
Or I do. I think you do too.
I'm just along for the ride.
I think you do. I just love this stuff. And if you were sitting right here, this is what I would be talking about. I'd be like, oh my goodness, have you seen this? This is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to like, oh, I'm dropping another video. Check this out. Like, I could care less about that. She stinks, doesn't she?
No,
sorry, it's our dogs bothering us.
But
I could care less about these videos. Okay, I love you guys if y'all are listening, but it's because you're brothers and sisters. Our family are those who do the will of Elohim, and it's like if y'all were here, this is what I would want to talk about.
Yeah. So
I'm not promoting any videos. Okay, I am dangling a carrot for the next video. We are going to get into, I'm just going to show them real quick, Travels of Sir John Mandeville with Tartaria, and we're going to talk about the 1500s, okay? Why the Gog-Magog War has happened.
Okay.
Why we believe, she got stink.
I told you, I was.
Why the Gog-Magog War has happened, why the little season could be over. Maybe there's another little season. Like I said, is Satan released right now? Or is he about to be released again? Before the final judgment.
Yeah.
I think there are many little seasons. I know that's kind of crazy, and it's not necessarily biblical, but there are times. Well, it is. We just read it. We're in Revelation 12, where he has a short time.
Yeah.
There are little seasons. Maybe it is biblical. Maybe there are many little seasons when Satan has a short time to basically do what he wants. And when he does what he wants, it's not just slow death, deception that we've been experiencing for the past 200 years.
Yeah.
I think it's utter destruction, hell on earth. Literally, he's going after the Christians or those who keep the commandments. Those who keep the commandments. Those who keep the testimony of Yeshua. He's going after the saints. He's going to kill them. Yeah. And so maybe this is coming our way. I don't doubt that it's coming our way, but I don't think it's here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think that we are just. What do we know about the little season?
Yeah.
Honestly, what do we
Well,
know about it? It's very little.
I do think it's the same thing with Millennial Kingdom. Apply the same logic here. I think we're trying to show that there could be evidence to support the little season having happened potentially. It's one of those like, show me that it hasn't happened, and we'll show you some evidence of where we think the Millennial Kingdom has happened.
Yeah.
Right. And that's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to get into debates or argue one position over another. I think it's just the more you see historical accounts of
and it's not even history. It's alternative history.
It's not mainstream history, but we are truly trying to uncover real history here, like his story, like Yahuwah's beautiful story. And what a great cover up for the enemy to literally bury all these books.
Why is Tartaria hidden?
Yeah.
Why are we discovering this huge nation that basically took over the entire world? Why aren't we talking about that? Mm-hmm. And when you find out who Tartaria is, what they did, they fulfill a lot of the prophecies of Gog Magog. And so if that were to happen, they actually went against the camp of the saints, I believe, and the beloved city. They went together with the Pope. You've learned this is a book called The Flowers of the East. And when you read that, the Pope's like saying, "Hey, come on, let's come together and let's destroy, well, not destroy, but let's take over the holy city." So when you read stuff like that, they're fulfilling these ideas of Gog Magog. And so if Gog Magog war happened, or the that war, that's the end of the little season. So how long was the little season? Like I said, hagiography, things that we were finding was saying it's only 3.5 years. But that's what they understood. And that was to begin with the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. This is in multiple writings. I found it a lot of places, and it's also in Stellarium. I think it was like 1573. It was a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. But anyways, like I said, this is the carrot that we're dangling for the next video. Well, I'm just saying because we didn't get to anything this video, but we're going to talk about it. Travels Sir John de Mandeville. We're going to talk about the Book of the Bee. We're also going to talk about the writings of Prester John,
what else you got over there?
Marco Polo, the Apocalypse of Pseudo Methodius, and Friar William of Rubric. Some other books that are on my phone. Okay. Is that it?
I think so.
The reason I'm saying that is because these all tell the same story. I just look at what people thought 500 years ago. A lot of them knew that Tartaria was Gog Magog. They all knew it. They said, "Oh, I don't know if they all knew it, but a lot of people were writing, this is Gog Magog. Get ready." And it happened. They took over the entire world. And it's not just Tartaria. There's 22 nations of Gog Magog. Yeah. And it literally happened in the 500s, just like Ezekiel, the war of Gog Magog before the Millennial Kingdom. I do believe Ezekiel's written in order. I know there's people saying it's not in order. I do believe it's in order. We could go through that. There's reasons why I believe that in Scripture, why I believe that. But there's a Gog Magog war before Millennial Kingdom, which was one of the 22 nations that came about. And then the Mongols, which is Magog, also went through and were destroying for 1,000 years, and really came to a head in the 1500s at the end of the Millennial Kingdom. Last call for paradise, because things are about to go down. Everything was destroyed, and then for the last 500 years, it's been us. It's been the nations re-inheriting the world. This is in Enoch. I wish I had the Sefer with me.
It's in,
no, it's fine. It's in Enoch 98, I think. But it says the days of perdition, the families will come back and inherit the world. So they're going to come forth, these families. Now, who are these families? These families that got put down for 1,000 years, but now they came back and they re-inherited the world. Also, maybe the phoenix re-inheriting its two heads, separate heads. So yeah, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyways, is that it? Yeah. Hopefully that was good. I hope that made sense. I want to get into these books next time. We just didn't have enough time, and because I don't want to talk. It's like I said, it's prep day. We got to do some stuff. So
yeah, but this is good. If you know us, this is what the conversation looks like.
Yeah,
it's completely unscripted, And that's how we approach these videos. We just let the Spirit kind of lead the conversation, and
and hopefully the Spirit's leading. Just so y'all know, we pray before each video, and pray that we're not saying anything that is false, that would be selfish ambition, lead people astray. I'll just be honest, it's hard, when Yehovah gives something to me or to any of us, and we find something that we've never heard before and that we don't see anyone talking about, it's hard not to stake claim on it.
Yeah, it's hard to contain that.
Yeah, because your flesh wants to stake claim and put the flag in the ground and say, look what I found.
Sure, yeah.
It's hard. It's hard not to do that. So I really pray, and I try not to do anything like that, because I want. And also I sit on things for a while. I really do honestly want to sit on. We've been talking about this for over a year, but maybe even 2 years.
Yeah,
we've been talking about this, but it's like we want to sit on it for a while and see if anything else comes from it.
Yeah.
We have an idea, things pop in our mind. Oh, what about this?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the more we read, the more things start feeding that idea and kind of strengthening it to where it could be. Maybe it's a possibility.
Well, and that's one of the fruits of the Spirit, which I think is also sort of on our list that we want to come back to. From the Order of the Ancients, not the fruit of the Spirit from Galatians, but the last one there's like 20 fruits of the Spirit that Elijah talks about here. Elijah, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I always want to say Enoch here. But it's hiding the secrets of Elohim. It's one of the fruits
Hiding
of the Spirit.
Secrets of Elohim within yourself, I think.
Within yourself, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But that's part of it. I think is really maintaining self-control is some of the things that Yehovah reveals, and testing it out and having time to test it out without kind of, I don't say word vomiting, but you know what I mean, kind of like putting it all out there, and not having supporting scriptural evidence or documentation to support it. I think that's just part of he's so gracious to give us some of these things. Yeah. And some people I think are quick to be like, okay, this is it. This is the right calendar. This is what you got to be doing, I'm just using that as an example.
We always talk about a calendar.
But just because it's one of those things that I think people can kind of, use as a hammer with, but I think a lot of times it's like truly, staying quiet with it, Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
just made me think of that.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
Yeah,
because I mean, in this social media world, I mean, it's like as soon as you find something, we gotta say it. We gotta be the first to say it. And does it really matter?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so stupid. I mean, honestly, like these things, I love talking about them, but I don't care. Like, and like I said, the reason we started talking about this is because we do sit here and pray, and we pray that, that His word doesn't return void. So when we read these things, when we read His scripture, that someone will learn from it. And we want to be a light. We want to do these things. So I hope that is what we're able to portray. Yeah. Because we're just flesh. We mess up. We say things that are prideful and we shouldn't say. And we try. We honestly want to try with these videos is just to help exhort the brethren, to lift people up, and to help disciple. I say this all the time. How do you disciple people without something to discipline them with?
Yeah.
So you have to have Torah. So anyways, is that it?
All right. Have a great day.
Next one, we're going to talk about Gog, Magog, and Tartaria. I promise.
Yes.
That's it.
We will get there.
Because I got nothing left to say.
All right.
All right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Bye.